Hello, welcome to an online spiritual message with Cumberland Heights. My name is Michelle. I do spiritual care here. I'm the spiritual care director, and together with my counterpart, Mary Murphy, we make up our spiritual care team here. And Cumberland Heights, I'm excited to say, is making some progress towards lifting some of our more stringent COVID restrictions. And on Thanksgiving, for example, we might be allowing a number of alumni and visitors out. And so hopefully one day soon, maybe we'll move towards some other way to incorporate anyone who's watching this into our Sunday services. But for now, we will go forward with this brief time together that we can share a message. I'm going to share this brief reading with you today. It's called Ought To. I cannot love because I ought to. I cannot hope because I ought to. I cannot believe because I ought to, or because I want to, or am taught to, or because it is reasonable, or desirable, or possible for someone else. I can only love and hope and believe sometimes or often, not quite or almost, seldom or never really, and I need you in between. This is about, I think, coming to believe. The fact that it's a journey for each one of us, and we don't come to believe because it says so in step 2. We don't come to believe because someone else is good at doing it. We don't come to believe because of a particular moving system of belief in a religion. We come to believe, and we come to believe imperfectly. We come to experience love and life and truth imperfectly, and sometimes we're really in it, and sometimes we're not as connected to it, and belief is harder in those moments. So we're always in the process of coming to that belief, that faith, and that hope in something greater than ourselves. And we need one another for those moments in which we doubt and we pull away. So today I shared with the patients, and this is a message I have given before, but to me the message of it is so important that it's one I share once or twice a year. And it's about the power of our words. Acknowledging the power of this creative ability that we were given to speak words and create meaning from that, and the energy that carries into the world when we speak words. I was a teenage girl once. If you didn't have that experience, I'm sorry for you, but a lot of us are taught growing up this statement: sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. And this kind of thought of it's just someone's opinion or it's just a word does a great deal to diminish the kind of power that words can have on us when we speak them or when they are spoken to us. So as a teenage girl, I was aware, both as a victim and as a persecutor, I have to admit, of how powerful words are, to their ability to hurt or to heal, to love or to hate. And I think a lot of us experience the wounds we carry from words spoken to us often way outlast any physical wounds we carry. So, in acknowledging the power of our words, I think it's important to recognize that words hold a sacred place across the board of religion and spirituality. Historically, the oldest religions to the newest religions, words are incredibly important, not only because of their place in our communication with one another and with the God of our understanding, but because of the history of what we believe they can do. So I share with you these examples. Hinduism, one of the oldest religions in the world, the Indian Peninsula, the Vedic religions, use the word Om, and it's a sound that is one word, Om, A-U-M or O-M, it's a sound so powerful, it's said to be the sound of the universe. Like, it is the sound of creation that vibes in harmony with all of creation. It's the sound that connects the Brahman, God, to the soul, the Atman. This word is so powerful and acknowledged for its power that it comes at the beginning of every mantra, which is a sacred phrase, or every chant. They use this as a way to ignite and connect to that power of creation in prayer and meditation. Words also have a place in our Judeo-Christian religion traditions. Islam, Judaism, and Christianity all share an understanding of how the world came into existence. And that creation narrative of God making the world is such that God's tool for creating the world we live in and creating us is words. We see words as so powerful that God literally speaks the world into existence. God speaks light from darkness, day from night, water from earth. God creates from the words God speaks. We exist because of words in these traditions. And when we move deeper into the Christian New Testament, we talk about the power of words being so powerful that in the Gospel of John, Jesus Christ, right, God incarnate, the salvation of all humankind, is referred to as the Logos, the Word. Word is so powerful that it is considered to be God coming into existence, the Logos. And so the power of word is deeply ingrained in the history of human religion and spirituality, and the attempt to know a God that is so much bigger than any one of us can conceive. We acknowledge that words have the power to create or to destroy, to hurt or to heal, to elicit sacrifice or movement, to persuade or to convince, to include people or exclude people, to breed hope or to breed despair. Bring back to you this revelation of the power of words, because when we are in active addiction, we are intimately acquainted with the power of our words. It's just that we've been using these words in order to put harm into the world. When we're in active addiction, we use words to harm, to isolate, to lie, to manipulate, to control, to justify, to rationalize, and to minimize. That is the power of our words. It performs all of those functions for us to keep our addiction intact. And so when we reach out to get better, to change things, we walk into a 12-step program of recovery that asks us to acknowledge the power of those words from the very beginning. It asks us to put stock in exactly how powerful words can be. We take step 1, which is built on the principle of honesty, acknowledging that words are powerful, and so when they're spoken, they reveal truth. And that's how they should be. Through the principle of honesty, they should be used to reveal truth. When we take step 1, it is the one we need to do first, because without that honesty, without that foundation to come out of our denial, we're unable to change anything. The power of our words in step 1 is to bring reality into focus for us. That I have a problem I can't fix, no matter how hard I try. And my attempts to lie about this, cover this up, or continue to fix it myself have led me to having a life that is truly unmanageable. We speak this truth for the first time when we take step 1. Anytime we acknowledge this out loud, it is a version of step 1, including daily claiming I'm a person in recovery, I'm a person with addiction, I'm a person who needs help for a problem today. Anytime we introduce ourselves with that label, addict, alcoholic, recovering person, we acknowledge the power of those words to keep our focus on the things of a spiritual nature and of hope and healing. So we acknowledge the power of our words from the very beginning to either save us from this disease or to kill us. Honesty is so important that in the Big Book they say some people sadly never recover from this disease, and we think it is due to being constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. That is how powerful words are, is that if we cannot speak them honestly, we cannot get better. It is what will kill us. I know for me, the first time I really admitted my history with eating disorders, that I had a problem that I was struggling with for years, that was bigger than me, right? I had talked about this problem. I had talked about what I was doing to get better about it. I was talking about how I was controlling or managing it. But the first time I really spoke, I have a problem that I can't fix no matter how hard I try, and it has a hold over me. Those words were so powerful. I was at a therapist's office, and it was all I managed to say. I said 2 sentences that entire hour. I have an eating disorder. Can I lay on your floor? And so the second question was so that I could lay in her floor of her office and just cry. I spent 45 minutes that day crying in her office and couldn't get anything else out because those words were so powerful to me. Those 4 simple words, 5 simple words, I have an eating disorder. They embodied all my fear. They embodied everything I'd been hiding for years. They embodied all of my shame about what I'd been doing to myself and the way that that had affected others. They embodied all my shame of feeling that I was weak because I couldn't stop this on my own. They embodied everything I had done that had been destructive to myself. All of that was encapsulated in those words. They were so powerful, it's all I could say. And I just cried. Step 1 is so important because we really all have to go through that. We all have to go through that recognition and really feel the gravity of our words and their power when they're honest. And perhaps some of you have had moments just like the one I had in that therapist's office where the truth of what you were saying was so powerful, it was all you could say. And for me, this power of these words spoken honestly felt like the end of the world. It was the end of my world as I knew it because I couldn't hide anymore. Someone really knew and really saw me after that moment. And it meant, speaking that out loud, that something might have to change. I might have to actually do something now to get better. But it also felt like the beginning of freedom. So simultaneously, I experienced the end of my world as I knew it, and the beginning of my freedom from a disease that had held me captive for years. So today, I hope you feel the power of your words and you acknowledge on a daily basis how important and powerful they are to keep you on this road of healing and recovery. I hope you hold these words the way humans have held them throughout time and history of religion and spirituality. Words as powerful as sacred. Words as an honor and a responsibility. And I pray for you that today you live into the principle of honesty, that you choose to speak truth, that you choose to speak love, and you choose to speak life. So that's what I shared with my patients today. And after that, we listened to the song Speak Life by Toby Mac. And if you've never heard that song, I encourage you to leave straight from this video and go YouTube it. It's a pretty powerful song and it's really short, but it just encapsulates that idea of how powerful our words are and what they can do to either put good into the world or not. And so if you'll pray with me. God, thank you for all of our creative capacities and the ways you have endowed us to add to this beautiful world that you have made. God, help us recognize today the power and the creation of the words we use, that they are a gift from you, that should be handled with responsibility and honor, that they should be taken as an opportunity to create love and connection and hope and healing, and no longer taken for granted and used without thought, or worse, used in a way that is meant to do harm. God, thank you for this moment to be together in community, and we ask that we continue to use the power of our words to create this recovery community where people feel loved and accepted and can finally face the truth of who they are. Amen. Thank you. I'm going to put a link in the video today that is our link to our spiritual funds that help us support various patient needs like transition to sober living, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.